Always does.
Okay. So tell me about some of your proudest accomplishments.
Well, number one, marrying a very fine person. It's now my caregiver with my illness. Also, at the same time, having a wonderful family. Family comes first. Having wonderful grandchildren and great grandchildren. To me, also, my own feeling is that you're a successful person if your children and grandchildren are more successful than you are. I think you've really accomplished something.
Hmm.
And thinking also my own profession. Okay. I'm in a helping relationship like my wife. We've never made a lot of money. Okay. But we've gotten a lot of gratification in helping people. It's hard to measure. Okay. Our pensions are not great like some of the other government workers. I can no longer work for government. Okay, but I get a lot of gratification having worked in a healthcare setting. I've been in it 40 or 50 years, maybe 50 years. I would do it all over again. One has to watch burnout. You got to go do something else as a hobby. Also, my volunteer work. As I said before, my dad was a super volunteer, and in a way, he's been my role model. In not all ways, but in many ways. And there I get a lot of gratification.
So through volunteer work and through what you did at your job was in a helping profession. It's with people.
Right.
With people in healthcare and also the volunteering.
And volunteer like the library, which I think do a wonderful job and have a great bunch of employees and have always treated me like an employee. My job as an activist, as a gadfly, was really a hobby for me, but they didn't know that. Many politicians are decent. There's others that are unethical. Okay, and that's why I've been an independent, now called a undeclared.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I got a lot of feeling, even though I didn't accomplish a lot, but sometimes things are immeasurable or unmeasurable in being against some of the governmental. And one of our greatest accomplishments there was a group, which we don't have anymore, 200 or 300, when they were going to build high-rise buildings, Metroplex. Okay, and there we fought as a group, meetings, and marched, and Metroplex was not approved.
Right.
Because there was a lot of interrelationships and politics in those days. Family by the name of the Readers.
Always, though, right?
And we would have had several 14-story buildings.
It would have changed the whole complexion. It would change
those
everything.
Those that were for it, there was also going to be a railroad station. But
so those are two of the things that didn't happen that would have had a big impact on the township. What are the biggest changes that you did see happen over the years?
The big things are the roads, the services like supermarkets, like Chinese restaurants, like pizza parlors, in which we have many, too many. The services. Okay, the police department. At one time we had a part-time chief that worked out of his house with two reserves. The services from the township are really outstanding, I must admit. But I don't want to single any out because many of them are very, very good. We have very good employees.
Good.
Okay. Sometimes the leadership has a little to be desired. Okay, and they're the paid people. But the rank and file, the spokes that make up the wheel, outstanding.
It's great.
I'm on the inside for the library. I volunteered there for several years. Unfortunately, I don't drive now. But we have an outstanding library. We have a very, very good senior program. We have a very good parks program. I don't want to start naming them to single anyone out. Okay, but some I'm not involved with, but they're good.
So you're happy with the services
and we
in the
have
township?
Very good employees, with a few exceptions. A lot of nepotism, a lot of patronage, but that's America. That's America.
What advice would you give to young people today? In a nutshell type thing.
Well, get as much education as you can. In my day, 10% of high school kids went to college. Now it's almost become a necessity. If not that, get into the trades and do an apprenticeship and go to a vocational school if you're geared toward plumbing, electrical, and other trade. Hard to get in because there's a lot of nepotism there. You got to have an uncle or father that's been in the union. But I would also suggest for some, if they can afford it financially, go on for a master's degree.
Mm-hmm.
Because today in our economy, and I feel sorry for the kids today, they're coming out well educated from college and there's no jobs, but they should stick to it. Another thing is they gotta have a work ethic. Many young people say, I will give the boss as much as he deserves. Well, that's warped thinking. I was a manager at the hospital, St. Peter's, for many years, and initially our folks were very hardworking. Some of your young people, they're an exception hopefully, are not geared toward hard work. Okay, I don't know if you've ever heard the term carrying your lunch. Okay, carrying your lunch, but that means you're hardworking, get there on time or earlier, and more of our people have to carry their lunchbox. Okay, but I think too, to get as much education, to not be argumentative with others. If you're working in retail or any place, the old saying, the customer is always right, even though when they're not right. When I worked in marketing and also at the hospital, you listen and you tell them thank you, thank you. You don't get into an argument even if you're right.
Okay.
I'm a little hot-headed and I didn't follow that when I was younger. I still have problems with it. And there's other areas that I could think of, but I don't have enough time. Put your family first.
Okay.
Put your family number one. If you have a conflict between something as a meeting and you can get out of it and you have a family activity, try to lean toward the family.
Okay. Okay, good advice.
And be a good role model. Okay. Because family, and I compare them to a house and a foundation. If you have a foundation that hasn't been put in well, the family, the rest of the house is going to crack and fall.
Right, right.
And that's one of the problems today with our problem kids.
Yep, yep. Fragmented. But how would you like to be remembered?
Let me tell you, when people die, some people say passed away. When you die, you're dead. And I've seen a lot of it. Okay. When I pass away, it'll be just like all the rest. In 5 years from now, they'll say, Lew Schwartz. Lew? Lew who? Who was he? That's the way it is. I want to be remembered by my family, by some of my good friends. The others are acquaintances. And I want to be remembered in some way from what I've done. But that will not happen. I don't need any plaques. I don't need things with my name on. Because what you do is immeasurable. And my wife taught me, don't ever expect anything in return. If you get a thank you, fine. That's one of my problems. I don't expect anything in return, but when I deal with someone on counseling, most people don't follow through. But that's all I want to be remembered by, the people that I've helped, by my family, number one. But people tell me that all people are equal, whether the job is a judge, a doctor, but people will tell you that people will say, who is that? And I guess that's the way there's new trees, and the old trees die, and you don't remember the old tree.
Well,
So
some people will. Some people
will, right.
Well,
The biggest problem I have now is when my good friends either move away, North Carolina, Arizona, stay in contact by cell phone, but when they move away or they die. Because the ones that move away you can't replace. You can, they're in your mind. The ones that die, in your mind, but there's no relationship physically.
right, right.
Does that answer your question, Mr. Randy?
Yes, it does. It does. And in conclusion, I just want to thank you, Lew Schwartz, for taking the time to take this interview. So we'll have something for the records, So thank you.
And I want to thank you for taking your time. And believe it or not, I enjoy doing this.
Good. Good. Thank you.